All right, welcome to another day of Ather Raids. We're taking on a soccer team composition here. And yeah, this is right after my summoning session, or after watching Oblivion summoning for, what's that new, Erica. Had to go to the Spark. I had to do the same as well. Didn't get a ton of luck. I guess how many 5-star I got? Well, that was a Spark. I got Guinevere, who loves me as usual. I got one Bridget, thank God. I really wanted a Bridget. I got Bajaji. I got Beefcakes. Did I get anyone on red? No, I didn't get anyone on red. I think that's it, actually. So not the greatest haul. 1, 2, 3. I guess 3 isn't bad. Yeah, I guess 3 isn't the worst. I guess I've had worse legendary summoning sessions in general. I think Oblivion had about this. We had 3 Bridgets and 1 someone else, I forget. So I guess it's about on par with what you'd expect from one of the worst banners that you can summon on in terms of just like luck and rates. But yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. I don't actually think I need a merge for Erica. Well, at least not right now. We'll see how the future goes, but for now, just the neutral stats is good enough. So currently against this defense, I'm planning on trying to warp, over this mountain tile and then set up so that Fjorm can far save Malice, and then we can get at least 3 units off the board on the first turn, and then we'll figure out what to do with Lyn on the following turn. The problem is right now is Loki is being annoying, which is what Loki's supposed to do, I guess. And then also, it's getting to that point where everyone in the game is just giving out some type of status effects, so it's really hard to avoid what Loki does when every unit is giving out like 2 status effects. So it's really easy to have Loki activate her effect, which is what I'm actually trying to avoid right now. So I'm trying to figure out the best configuration to have the least amount of status buffs, because everyone's going to have to shift to the left away from Lyn, since all of over there is her range essentially. So I've got to get everyone over to the other side and then figure out the rest from there. I could also probably just have Fjorm far save everyone, but I'm not too confident about what would happen potentially with Ather and how that would work out in terms of who gets assigned decoy. So yeah, we're gonna shift everyone over, warp over this, and then get going that way.
Nerve-wracking. I'll protect you.
Well, actually, I can't warp over. I gotta dance, actually. 1, 2, 3. I can't break this with Fjorm, actually. Alright, we're gonna work with this on the fly. Because barricade is a thing, or rather, it's not barricade, he's the far save, so that's higher ground, Ather. So yeah, that is actually messing with my plans. So let's try to pop a dance here and see if we can get around there somehow, and then figure it out. I really want to get Malice under that tactics room, and then that's the ideal spot to have everyone attack Malice from, and then we can use there should be enough space over there for the other 3 units. Let's dance. Let's get here.
Time to make a profit.
Damn, Loki. Okay, so Loki actually removed my +1, well, all of my status effects, but the +1 movement, I was actually counting on that to get to that spot. So
Lady Niffle.
I didn't realize that I didn't have that. I could have actually smited, or even if I had the reposition gate, I could have done, but smite. But we're gonna have to improvise here. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it should be fine. I think worst case scenario, I can just put Malice here and then Fjorm somewhere behind her. It should be okay. Let me try to think this through. and figure this out in the meantime as well. But then also, yeah, back to the summoning session. So it went okay, I guess. I'm trying to have some self-control because I did mention that I want to go for 4 sparks on the AHR banner to try to get Ira to +10. I have 2 more sparks to go, and Ira is currently at +6 from what did I have her at? I think I had her at +1 or +2 to begin with, so it's pretty decent look so far. I think I should be able to get a couple more, at least 1 more copy. +7 should be fine, and then we can finish out the rest of the merges as she gets reran. That's like the first legendary I've +10 in, or attempted to +10 in forever, so I really want to get that going. But then also, I think that this is a great opportunity to get an extra copy of Momentum. So I'm planning to spark at least 1 Sigurd because I don't have any more copies of Lucina to pass that Momentum fodder around rearmed. So yeah, that's the plans for that. But I'm also trying to, I don't know why, I'm trying to control myself and not do it all at once, which I could do. But I think I'm just trying to gather up orbs so I don't have to spend too much. It's been fairly reasonable so far in terms of how much I've spent. But whale problems aside, and I've just been going full circles, except I've been skipping colorless sometimes because I don't really need the extra copies of Lucina. I did get a copy, I got a Lin. So yeah, I guess my legendary ban and summons were pretty decent because I did get an extra Lin, so now I got +1 emblem Lin, so that's great. That aside, I did leave off with something that I was talking about. Erica. It is going to be very interesting to see how her usage pans out.
I'll protect you.
I think I left off talking about just what it means for the triangle attack of it all. I didn't get too much into what it means for what she actually does with her style effects, and it is really interesting because from the looks of it, from what I've been seeing from testing and just watching other people Oblivion use the unit, it's looking like she basically has permanent erosion, which means that the unit that she's attacking won't get far saved. And I don't really know if that's bad or good, because it means that it essentially, what erosion does is that it neutralizes the benefit of, or the protection of having a far saver on your team. Fjorm eats these for breakfast, man. Fjorm is so good, like still. But anyways, it neutralizes erosion neutralizes the benefits of having a far save for protection. So essentially, every defense is in a weird state now where Erica can just come in, snipe your far savior, and then go to town with like a Yunaka, which I guess doesn't necessarily change too much because that's kind of how you would go about trying to break down a defense anyway. We gotta avoid Lin here. But that's kind of how you would go about breaking down a defense anyway. You try to take out the far save, and I guess Erica is now just another ranged unit that can potentially do that. But then also, the erosion of it all means that if she fails to take out the far savior, she can just snipe someone else. And a lot of times you have, like, depending on your layout, you might have one of your squishier units in the front, like a Loki or Emblem Lin in this situation. You would have been able to snipe Emblem. You would have been able to snipe Emblem. What am I saying? Words come out of my mouth, please. I think you would have been able to snipe Emblem Lin in this situation because of how Erica's weapon, or rather style effect, works. I think I'm right about that. Again, I could be wrong. I really haven't tested it yet, but that's kind of what it's looking like. Although it could be that the near save triggers and then protects your unit that way. I actually really should test this out, but if I'm thinking about it correctly, it probably means that you're going to have a unit exposed, and there's no way around it. But that's going to be interesting to test out. If I am correct, it's going to really change how you build and lay out your defenses, because it means that you can't really leave a lot of room for your opponent to then attack into you, or at least for Erica to attack into you. And she's really competent in terms of being a melee nuke. She kills literally everything. I didn't see her lose. She kills both of the snakes. Wow, I'm having a list, man, I tell you. She kills both of the snakes, and she kills Rhea consistently, which is very good. Very, very good. She dies to the counterattack if, Rhea is able to hit her, but there are ways around that. You can figure it out. But she is able to kill Rhea because of the Brave effect. So it's interesting, man. It's going to be a real challenge to try to figure it out. And it's going to be interesting for the future of defenses, because it could potentially mean that far saves just might be dead if we're looking at everyone running in Erica. It could potentially mean that far save is dead, or you're going to just change your defensive teams altogether, switching from glass cannons to bulky range nukes, and there just aren't that many of them that can survive Erica. So I don't know, unless we're gonna just go full Omni tanks, like have a team of 7 Omni tanks, and then the extra slot will be like a range nuke, or you have your range nuke somewhere all the way in the corner where Erica can't get to them, which is kind of what I've seen some people doing with Yunaka and Ather. But if she can get the Ather, then you lose that little rally effect. So I don't know, man. It's definitely something that I'm going to test out to see how it works, but it's going to be really annoying to deal with for me, a defense builder. So yeah, don't think I like that part of it. I don't like that she can potentially just ignore the far save like that. I don't like how that potentially interacts. In SD, I think she'll be very, very dominant there. She is essentially Sigurd in terms of damage output. Without the AoE, she just does a bazillion damage. As I mentioned, she kills pretty much everything. And I think a lot of it's going to be down to whether or not she can win the speed check to get the brave hits off. Yeah, because if you partner her with someone like Emblem Lyn and she can get that brave desperation, there really isn't much that's surviving. So I like the fact that we finally have someone that could potentially help us out with Rhea, because man, it's been a pain. Running Wind Sweep Crom, Water Sweep Crom just really isn't it, to be honest. And that's only in one season. Granted, I did have the Lapis solution, but unfortunately I just haven't been able to use it for this season, since that team is just so specifically built to work with Hraesvelgr that I just couldn't figure out how to get Uller in there. So that feels like a no-go. But in the future, I'll probably change the configuration of that team so that it actually can work, and I can have some more moving parts. I think it's really Yunaka that's causing the problems there, because she's just so good. I have like 3 Yunaka teams for light season. Don't think I need that many, but it's hard for me to let one go. One has Miracle, one has Edelgard, and the other one is just for fun. And I think I really want to keep the just for fun one, because Bridget is also on that team. So I don't know. I'm going to have to drop one of these teams to try to get Erica in, because I think I'm going to need her for light season, because that's what's going to be back up after chaos season. So I think I got to figure that out. And yeah, she looks like a ton of fun, to be honest. She looks like a ton of fun, but I'm not sure if it's more harm than good in terms of just the ignoring saves, her erosion ability. I don't particularly like it, because I don't like where it's headed. It could also mean that you can set up your defense in a way to where everyone has distant counter, so that they can counterattack in there. She's not the bulkiest unit, so if you're able to like just one-shot her, then that's great for you.
You've got this.
So if you can set up your defense where, I think I think close combat seal is definitely on the horizon because it makes sense. I don't know, man. Unless you're going to start running close bonus double on everyone, so that you can survive and then counterattack into her. With speedy units, then also it's really hard to meet the speed check on defense since offense has the upper hand when it comes to speed. But yeah, I feel like close combat seal is definitely on the horizon. Wouldn't be surprised if it's the next Tempest trial from the kids banner. I can definitely see that happening. It feels like now is the time for it. It's really been interesting. I feel like this is the year of range. IS has been manipulating the attack ranges with a lot of the units that they've been releasing this year, and just movement, and it's a whole new thing with mobility and range. It feels like that's the focus for this year, and it's going to change the game entirely. I don't know what it's going to lead to or where they'll end up with it, but it's refreshing. It really changes how everything interacts.
Time to make a profit.
And that's one thing I guess you can't. I don't think you can genuinely say that Fae is boring unless you're just not that in tune with the different meta shifts that are happening in the game. If you're not playing it like super, it's not even. If you're just a casual player, then maybe. But if you're like into the game, it's definitely a lot going on.
What now?
So I gotta give credit to them for that, for keeping the game as interesting as it has been. Going on 8 years now? Yeah, that's a lot of effort to keep it fresh. They've definitely succeeded with doing that. I want to say.
Right.
Yeah, but that aside, I gotta test it out, see how that works. And all that's left is to review what her emblem ring effect actually can do and how that will also change a lot of the meta matchups in terms of melee units. Man, yeah, the emblem units just keep breaking the game. I don't know how for every year. I don't know if the game has enough space to accommodate it, but we'll see what happens, man. GG's. See you in the next one.